Have you ever thought of becoming a game developer? Maybe you've already decided that this is the career path that you want to follow, but how and where should you start? There are many different types of game developers out there, but in this video we're going to talk about the exact steps that you need to take in order to become a Unity game developer. For more content about how to start your journey in IT and how to become a software developer, subscribe to my channel. I'm a senior Unity developer with over 5 years of experience in various fields, from gaming to extended realities. So the first time you've ever researched this topic, you were probably presented with two options, Unity and Unreal Engine. I've created a separate video comparing the two options that you can check out if you're still unsure on which career path you want to follow. And just before we get started, I decided to break down this video into 3 main sections: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. You can also think of it as junior, middle, and senior levels. And spoiler alert, I won't be able to cover every single thing that you must know at each level, but these are the main things that, in my opinion, I find to be highly important. Let's get started, and as a beginner, you either have minimal experience or none. This is the time for you to learn the Unity's editor and the functionality that it comes with. And this includes things like scenes, prefabs, UI, physics, colliders, materials, animations, and probably some additional topics. You need to get to know the game object's lifecycle as well as the callbacks that the engine comes with. This is usually things like start, awake, update, and a couple of others. And right away, an important point, when you're learning Unity, don't forget to learn C# language by itself. A lot of people get trapped in mono-behavior scripts, forgetting that plain C# is actually much better in certain cases, for example for storing and managing raw data. And in general, it gives you more flexibility and performance. Remember, not everything in your project has to be a mono-behavior. Don't worry too much, this understanding will come with experience, just make sure that you're aware of it. A good starting point to learn C# along with Unity would be to take a separate online course that is dedicated solely to the programming language itself. Get to know what are the differences between value and reference types, as well as learn what stack and heap are. I believe that this will set you on the right path to properly start learning C#. Also, a quick note, you should start using Git with Unity right away, because sooner or later you will start to run into merge conflicts. This will happen when you will start to merge scenes or prefabs together, and you need to know the tools on how to deal with it as well as how to avoid this in advance. Lastly, it is also very important for you to start to learn design principles such as Solid and also the general concepts of object-oriented programming. And yes, it would be pretty difficult to apply some of those principles, but the more you learn and the more you will move away from mono behaviors, the easier it will get. Okay, and now let's move on, and as an intermediate Unity developer, this is the time when you would have to start applying the best practices in your code. Therefore, you should start investigating the most popular design and architectural patterns. And let's talk about each of them. So starting with design patterns, there is an amazing book called The Gang of Four, and it has the 23 most popular patterns that are used in object-oriented programming. And I would highly advise you to do the following thing with this book. Read about all the design patterns and understand in what cases it's better to use each of them. You don't have to memorize the implementation and the structure of each pattern. Let's be realistic about it, you're not going to remember it. However, you will start to remember them in the process when you will start applying them. And that's why it's crucial for you to know exactly when to use each of them. And now let's talk about architecture, and this is where things get quite complicated. There are so many different approaches when it comes to structuring your project. You could be using something like service locator, composition root, MVC, MVP, MVVM, and so many more. Each approach is appropriate for a certain kind of project. However, I do have a solution for you that should cover most of your architectural problems, and this solution is Zenject. This is a dependency injection framework, and this should cover 80% of your architectural design needs. Another thing for you to improve as an intermediate Unity developer is optimizations. And they can be divided into 3 main categories: scripting, physics, and graphics. The bigger chunk out of the 3 of those is definitely graphics, because they will eat up most of your performance. Therefore, you need to be more than familiar with terms like what is a draw call, what is a set pass. Learn the tools that Unity already provides you with. This could be things like static and dynamic batching, GPU instancing, LOD groups, MIP mapping, occlusion culling, and so many more. Also remember, if you're developing for mobile devices, UI optimizations play a crucial role, yet a lot of people forget about them. Learn how to properly use multiple canvases, understand the order of execution, how to use sprite atlases, and general things that you should never do in a UI. So for example, use animators. This is quite a complex topic, so you will have plenty of materials to study from. Another great thing for you to learn are various tools that are available for asset management. This would be things like streaming assets, asset bundles, and addressables. Knowing these tools and how to use them will not only give you more control over your assets, but also a huge increase in performance. By the way, if you have any questions at this point or further in the video, be sure to leave them in the comments. I answer to everything that you write. Okay, here we are. As an advanced Unity developer, you need to be proficient in advanced topics. So here are some of the examples. So first of all, there is garbage collection, which might sound boring to some of you, but this is a very important topic. You need to know how garbage collection works in general, as well as how to write your code so that it doesn't generate too much garbage, which could result in frame drops. Explore how garbage collection in Unity is different from other fields, as it uses incremental garbage collection in order to spread the load over multiple frames. And in general, terms like generations, fragmentation, big and small objects, this should be fluent to you. The next thing that you should probably know are the different scripting backends that are available in Unity. There are two options, there is Mono and there is IL2 CPP, and each of them compiles code differently. Get to know terms like IL or intermediate language and JIT as just-in-time compiler. Explore the differences in speed, platform support, and security that each backend provides. The next point is that for any enterprise or a long-term project, it is essential for you to apply unit testing in your project. Thankfully, Unity comes out of the box with its own solution for implementing editor and runtime tests. But let's slow down. These are only a couple of things that are important for a senior Unity programmer to know. However, in reality, at this level, your skill set will highly depend on your specialization. You can have advanced knowledge in shaders, or you can be an expert when it comes to animations, or many other things. You will be the one to set priorities and determine what things and topics you will learn next. Eventually, you will start looking away from the Unity, exploring other tools that are important for the development process of a project as a whole. Quick examples are CI/CD and static code analysis tools. Being a senior developer is quite fascinating because you will be learning and applying new tools and technologies all the time. And this is what senior developers do. They're able to learn quickly, understand new topics faster because of their experiences and their expertise. Well, this is it. Now you know the steps that you need to take to become a Unity game developer. Obviously, the exact path that you're gonna follow will vary depending on your specialization in game development, but this outline should give you a pretty good starting point. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. Your support really does mean a lot to me. Have a good day and see you.